branch office. Currently, we do have 15 employees, and we have 3 employees in our branch office in Nairobi. On that one day, I earned 5 million shillings.
Money, 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 money,
yeah.
Money, 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 money.
Yeah.
Sometime last year, I opened a pharmacy that supplies medicine to other pharmacies, and also we tender for supply of also medicine to other facilities, to government facilities. And we have also started off with a transport and logistics company. We offer transport for materials. There are those of our clients who we do construction for them, or they want to do construction on their own and they need materials delivered to them. We have started that, and we deliver materials to them. I would say in conservative figures in terms of assets that we own, we estimate that at 300 million. I was born in Kisumu, growing up around with friends around, and we had childhood dreams, to make it rich, but we didn't know how do we make it rich. We would see these people making it all over in the news. We would admire. People say that by the age of 30 we should be very rich. My follower sister is married to a gentleman. He's British. He's actually my age mate. At some point, he was convincing me, "Oh, come over. We stay here in England and all of that." But then at that point, I made a request to him. "Why don't you help me set up like a guest house?" I opened a guest house. Then he helped me, with some money to put in a few more things. We went and paid up for rent. And as the business was growing and we were getting clients, we were also saving a little bit of that. It didn't go well as such. By the time we were closing down the guest house business, we had personally I had about 150,000. We had saved about 200,000. But during that period, I had this idea that why don't we have a plan B to also run a real estate company so that it can be able to complement with our incomes. The main thing was for me to offer consultancy about land use, soil types and things like that. So when we came into, to start the real estate office that is at Pioneer House in town, the rent was 18,000, yes, but there's a lot that was coming in. Like, remember, we were shocked to see that the advocate's fee, to do the lease was so exorbitant. We had to pay a deposit of 3 months. There was service charge, and all this came in. We were given in a bill, and we thought this is a one-off thing. We managed to pay it, and we barely had money to, buy the furniture. We decided to, say, let us concentrate on the real estate. So I talked my brother-in-law into us, investing together proper in the real estate. He was still a bit, cautious, being someone who is not from Kenya. He's wondering, what's this gentleman going to do with my money if I give him, all sorts of things, which was understandable. But then I carried it on. What he did that was good, he accepted to give me a laptop, an IBM and all, which was good. It was working well. He accepted also to create a website from which we'd be able to, market ourselves. And I was so thankful. So I talked my brother-in-law into us, investing together proper in the real estate. It took 1 whole year for me to make a sale. So it did not really add to any good in terms of building confidence of my brother-in-law, who I hoped to come in as a partner. So this one sale, I had to pay off my debts and other things, and it was about 120,000 shillings that we earned from it. I earned from it. What we decided was to keep marketing and keep marketing. By the end of that year, we were, people were a bit getting to know us. My brother-in-law decided now I can put in some money. So he traveled over and I checked around. I managed to convince him that we can open an office. So we got an office, a small office. It was going for 18,000 shillings. And I remember the basic furniture was not that cheap either. By the time we were setting up the office in town, we spent about 600,000. This is 6 years ago. Yeah, that is 2009. We were able to meet some of our bills, and we were able now to build some confidence in clients who are now trickling in to look for property. At this point, we are only acting as agents. Someone brings land, he wants a buyer, we look for the buyer, we sell, we earn the commission. So we thought this is how the business is going to run. But then we found out there are the people who are offering to us their properties to sell. They were not honoring their part, paying us our commissions. So we were also losing on that end. And we decided to say at this point, I was thinking I don't want to disappoint my brother-in-law. We must come up with an idea of what to do. And what he pumped in as debt. So I was supposed to pay it back. When I got the money to pay back, I decided that let us buy our own parcels of land. When we sell, I will refund him. So when we bought our first parcel of land, it was so good. We were so happy. I told him I've managed to buy 4 acres of land. We managed to subdivide it. And when we sold it, he was so happy. He said, fine, you convert my debt into equity. And every time we sell, we were buying more land. So that was our main focus at that time. It helped us to stabilize the company. It's also interesting that out of that sacrifice, I managed to get 4 of my siblings in the same university. I think I'm going to join them in class. It's been a good sacrifice for many people, for them, for the business. Apparently, real estate has a big name, so we were told to pay some big amount of money for our small office. We were seeing big companies just paying about 8,000. For us, they wanted about 18,000. It was quite a big challenge for us for that, and building the sort of confidence in our clients. Sometimes you get a property being brought to you. It is not a genuine property, but you find these people are smarter, as they will not be held accountable. They have cooked these papers, and they're so smart to the files, wherever they are, everything is well arranged. So they bring it to us, and you find yourself, offering this property for sale. Then a problem comes up. This has been nightmares for us. Challenges. There are really serious challenges to offer property that is not genuine, I made my first million in 2011. I think that was the best deal I ever made. It was not an easy one, though. I managed to sell some parcel of land that was worth about 8 million. I managed to earn a commission of about 2.5 million out of it. The person buying had to meet the owner on the same table. And usually, there's this temptation that the person buying should not meet the person selling. Otherwise, you'll come out with nothing. Money will be wired straight, into the seller's account. I think it's good also to be very upfront and very honest and cut out your deal, openly. So I explained myself to the buyer and told him, I need to make my money. The property was going for 20 million. The buyer had negotiated to 15 million. Then I went to him and told him, how much are you really willing to pay? I can negotiate for you. So he said, if you bring this property to 8 million, I'll pay you 2.5 million. So I'm comfortable paying, 10.5 million. And that's what happened. We hammered it, but it was very difficult for the buyer to eventually pay it up. And that's how I made my first million. Yeah, it was a good feeling. So when we bought our first parcel of land, it was so good. We were so happy. I told him I've managed to buy 4 acres of land. We managed to subdivide it, and when we sold it, he was so happy. He said, fine, you convert my debt into equity. And every time we sell, we were buying more land. So that was our main focus at that time. It helped us to stabilize the company.